Happy holidays from Horrible Horrors. I'm Zach Romero, and today's going to be an incredibly special episode because instead of just one film, we're reviewing two, and instead of one religion, we'll have two on camera, and we'll have two reviewers. The guest I have today is a very special gentleman. He's been mentioned on the show a couple times. I go to him with any kind of cinema-related drama in my life. My good friend, Derek Wayne.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Alright! So the two films we'll be doing today are John Carpenter's The Thing and Starship Troopers. Now you may be asking, where did we get the connection from that? And it's actually quite simple. The Thing, starring Kurt Russell, shares its main character with the movie Grindhouse, which also stars Kurt Russell, which also had Danny Trejo, who was in Once Upon a Time in Mexico with Johnny Depp, who was in Sleepy Hollow with Casper, who gives a
And I know all of you are probably wondering, there has to be a way to connect this to Kevin Bacon, which there is, because Casper Van Dien was actually in Sleepy Hollow with Michael Gambon, and Michael Gambon was in Gosford Park with Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren was in The Queen with Michael Sheen, and Michael Sheen was in Frost and Nixon, which starred Kevin Bacon! So now that's out of the way. I guess we'll start with Starship Troopers first. And, Starship Troopers. What's not to say about Starship Troopers other than it's probably the most amazing movie you will ever see in your life. I saw it when I was 9 years old when it came out in August of 1997. Why did I see it? Because it was directed by Paul Verhoeven. And yes, he directed Showgirls. But we're not going to talk about Showgirls. We're going to talk about Paul Verhoeven's masterpiece, RoboCop, which is the greatest film of the 80s. Just try to argue about it, because you can't. I win, you lose. RoboCop is the greatest film of the 80s. Anyway, okay, so Starship Troopers. If you watch this movie, you will realize not only is it directed by Paul Verhoeven, but basically everybody who worked on RoboCop worked on this movie, and it's basically like watching RoboCop, except there's no RoboCop, there's giant bugs, and that's really about it. That's all the similarities. Anyway, so Starship Troopers has Casper Van Dien as Johnny Rico, some stalker girl who was Oracle in that terrible show Birds of Prey, Doogie Howser, Charlie Sheen's ex-wife, and the guy who broke up Zach and Kelly on Saved by the Bell. Anyway, so Starship Troopers takes place in this futuristic, fascist, militaristic society where you're either a civilian or you're a citizen, and if you walk out that door, you don't have what it takes to be a citizen.
But you don't have what it takes to be a citizen.
So, basically what the plot of the movie is, these bugs who live in a solar system called Klendathu are gonna wipe us out because they're bugs. So we gotta do what Americans should and go kick some ass and kill some bugs. So, basically there's this, boot camp sequence where we meet all these amazing characters like the Kurgan from Highlander, Jake Busey, some friend of mine who's actually in the army, which is pretty weird. But there's all these ridiculous scenes, like the scene where Clancy Brown throws a knife through some guy's hand.
Put your hand on that wall!
There's a scene where Rube from Major League 2 gets his hand broken. And then he gets his head blown off. But anyway, the story of this movie is about Johnny Rico, who's in love with Charlie Sheen's ex-wife, and he doesn't know what to do with his life, so he's going to sign up for a term of service and become a citizen. So he joins the mobile infantry so he can take nude showers with everybody, and basically just whine like a baby when he gets Rube killed. So then he's like, wah, I don't want to fight anymore, I don't have what it takes to be a citizen. So he's like, you know what, I'm just going to leave and go home. Well, he can't go home because the bugs somehow send a meteorite that destroys his home of Buenos Aires. I'm going to repeat that. For some reason, all the main characters in this movie live in Buenos Aires, when none of them look to be Latin American at all. That doesn't make any sense, but it's pretty amazing. So anyway, Buenos Aires is off the map, so what does Rico want to do? He wants to kill them all!
Kill them! Kill them all!
So they get together and they're gonna go invade Klendathu, so they're gonna attack the bugs, and basically the bugs kill them all, basically. Bugs kill everybody because it turns out the bugs are smarter than us. Okay, why these giant arachnid things that are slicing us in half could be smarter than us, I don't really understand. But it's... for this movie, I'll accept it. Anyway, so what happens in the battle is lots of people die. Crazy stalker girl who's played by Oracle doesn't die. Jake Busey doesn't die. Rico ends up in the can from Empire Strikes Back, and crazy stalker girl makes it out with it. I don't know what's going on. Charlie Sheen's ex-wife and Zack and Kelly guy get together and they survive. So anyway, Jake Busey, Oracle, and Rico, as soon as they've survived, they're going to join a new elite team to go kill some bugs, led by this guy.
Welcome to the Roughnecks.
Ratcats, Roughnecks!
Michael Ironside. This movie can't get any more awesome. Well, actually, it can, because there's lots of more awesome stuff coming up in this film. Anyway, Michael Ironside has a robotic hand, and he's basically just being Michael Ironside. And basically just says, if you don't do your job, he's gonna shoot you. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so they go in, and they kill some bugs, more people die, it turns out there's a distress call, they gotta go, and they gotta save people, but it turns out it's not a distress call. The bugs, because they're smart, set a trap for us, and they sucked a guy's brain out.
They sucked his brains out.
There's a brain bug that sucks people's brains out, that knows how we think, and controls everything, and that's why the bugs are smarter than us. Okay, that's pretty ridiculous, but for this film, I will accept it. Anyway, to make a long story short, Michael Ironside sadly ends up getting killed. Thank God the stalker girl gets killed, but for some reason, we're supposed to like her now, even though she's been pretty creepy and been a stalker the whole film. But she gets killed, but we like her, and they have a funeral. Anyway, Doogie Howser comes, and he's dressed like Hitler now without the mustache, and basically says that, oh, the army knew there was a brain bug all along, we just wanted to kill people to see if there was a brain bug. So now Rico is given command of the new team, and basically Rico has to go in and find the brain bug, and to make another long story short, Charlie Sheen's ex-wife and Zack and Kelly guy end up where the brain bug is, and Zack and Kelly guy gets his brain sucked out, which he deserves for breaking up Zack and Kelly. Sadly, Charlie Sheen's ex-wife is saved by Rico and Jake Busey, and, you know, they come in, they shoot everything, and they blow everything up, and, the funniest thing in the movie is Rico doesn't catch the brain bug, because the whole thing is they need to catch the brain bug, because if they know how the bugs think, then they'll be able to defeat them. What ends up happening is the Kurgan, the drill instructor, who threw a knife through Jake Busey's hand, somehow has captured the brain bug. We don't see it, we just see that it's captured. And honestly, if he could throw a knife through Jake Busey's hand, he could probably do anything. So I do accept that he could capture that bug. Anyway, the end of the movie is basically, yeah, we captured the bug, we're gonna go kill people. And then all of a sudden it's like a propaganda commercial. And it's over and it says we're gonna eventually kill the bugs. Now, you learn 3 things from watching Starship Troopers. Number 2, a young Amy Smart is in this movie for no reason.
We're in the target area now, Captain.
It's pretty amazing to see that she started with giant killer bugs and has grown up to having sex with Jason Statham on a horse race track. Number 1, every awesome line in this movie is screamed by someone. Every line is screamed. Look.
War! We're going to war! On you if you want to live forever! We're trying to kill some bugs, sir! Get out of here! Get out of here! You know what to do! Yes, sir!
And number 3, what is the deal with the stalker girl? She is a stupid character. I don't really understand why we're supposed to like her. I don't like her. When she dies is the best part of the movie. And not only that, it's like she's having sex when she dies anyway. Take a look.
No, you're gonna be alright, Diz.
It's alright. Because I got to have you. Johnny, don't let me go.